Welcome back. This is Chicken Philosophy. The microphone's right here if you ever wonder why I lean over this way to say something. You might notice the difference between what it sounds like when I'm talking here versus what it sounds like, in which I will pick up right where Gwydion left off in part 5. If this is your first time checking out the Tao Te Ching, I hope that I do it a service. I hope that it's not the first time you've heard of the Tao Te Ching. I'm going to read it. I'm going to say stuff, and feel free to value this and take zero value of the stuff I say. I'm talking to the new folks. If you're a returner, you kind of know what you're in for. But anyway, if you haven't ever heard of Tao Te Ching, just don't watch this. Just read it, I'd say. But unless you want to, or unless you already know that you're cool with my flows generally. There's a lot of different flows. Oh, that reminds me, I'm breaking my own rules, which kind of feels good, actually. What's that line from Golden Child?
I thought you said I was supposed to stay on the path!
Yes, but you must know when to break the rules.
Yes. Like Eddie Murphy's father-in-law-to-be said. Right. So yeah, I was supposed to do Buddhist books, Theravada, but I didn't. I did this. But this is 1003, not 1002, because Gwydion did you remember someone, BT was talking about how he might do something crazy. Well, he didn't do Gwydion's Astral Podcast this time. He did a Gwydion's Poetry.
Hey, YouTube. Hey, YouTube. Hey, fuck you. YouTube. Hey.
Yeah, so, Gwydion's Gwydion. Linearly speaking, I'm in a much better place now. Even though that was scarcely 24 hours ago. Probably less. Yeah, he was pissed at YouTube about something not important. Our beverage today is some Twinings pure green tea. Cheers. Yeah, it's good. It's good, I have to admit. And the incense today, some kind of rose. Oh, I'm going to need my other glasses if I'm going to start expecting myself to read things. There we go. Rose natural incense, holistic natural incense. Mit rein Eifers Ischen Olen Raucher Stabchen. If you want to Google that and get yourself a box, an envelope, whatever this is of rose. Whatever, just use what you got. But it's just to share what it is that I'm burning. You get the full experience of specifically exactly what the vibrations are, to a certain extent, connecting on more than just two senses, if possible, to a certain degree. This is incense. This is the rose incense I was speaking about earlier. Okay. So because it's Tao Te Ching. By the way, before Tao Te Ching, on the white pedal for the new folk, we did a 38-part series. It's 38 episodes. It's a beginning and an end to this thing. And it's The Secret of the Golden Flower, which is some Taoist alchemy from the 17th century or whatever. That's right here. How many times have I pointed to the corner already? All right. Yeah. So we're ready for the I Ching. That's what we do next. When it's white pedal. All right. All right. Solid quadruple broken. If I'm not mistaken, I think last time we got broken quadruple solid or quintuple broken. Solid quintuple broken. Why does that feel like the exact same thing we got last time? Well, let's see if it's familiar. Fu, return.
Fu, please, retire.
Yeah, fool, save it.
It's a different fu. It's a homophone. Return. A time of darkness comes to a close. Yes. Yes, it does, doesn't it? All right. Now we'll get to the reading. Why not? All right, so we're going to read from 33 to 39, if I'm not mistaken. We're reading 6 each time. Did we mess up the... Or no, 5 each time. We're reading 5 each time. So we're going to read from... how did we get to 32? Well, somehow we got to 32. So we'll read 5 or 6. I don't remember how many we're reading. 33. He who knows men is clever. He who knows himself has insight. He who conquers men has force. He who conquers himself is truly strong. He who knows when he has got enough is rich. And he who adheres assiduously to the path of Tao is a man of steady purpose. He who stays where he has found his true home endures long. And he who dies but perishes not enjoys real longevity. 34. The great Tao is universal like a flood. How can it be turned to the right or to the left? All creatures depend on it, and it denies nothing to anyone. It does its work, but it makes no claims for itself. It clothes and feeds all, but it does not lord it over them, Yahweh. Sorry. Thus, it may be called, quote, the little, end quote, with a capital L. All things, it didn't say Yahweh. I added that. That was editorial commentary if it wasn't obvious. Okay. All things return to it as to their home, but it does not lord it over them. Right? Thus it may be called the great, in quotes with a capital G. It is just because it does not wish to be great that its greatness is fully realized. 35. He who holds the great symbol will attract all things to him. The capital G and a capital S on great symbol. They flock to him and receive no harm, for in him they find peace, security, and happiness. Music and dainty dishes. Editor Edward, you remember when we went to White Cloud in Shanghai? Could you just I don't know, run that here while we're reading. I just felt like it. It's a Taoist temple in Shanghai. Music and dainty dishes can only make a passing guest pause, but the words of Tao possess lasting effects. Though they are mild and flavorless, though they appeal neither to the eye nor to the ear. Did he give you chills? ASMR. 36. What is in the end to be shrunken begins by being first stretched out. What is in the end to be weakened begins by being first made strong. What is in the end to be thrown down begins by being first set on high. What is in the end to be despoiled begins by being first richly endowed. Okay? I think that means something different. It's like, well, in order to be a spoiled kid, you have to have money. Yeah, I know. But I don't think that's what he means, Herein is the subtle wisdom of life. Or maybe that's not even true, now that I think about it. I think there's ways that it could be like if somebody... Yeah, never mind. The soft and weak overcomes the hard and strong. Oh, sorry, I skipped a line. Herein is the subtle wisdom of life. The soft and weak overcomes the hard and strong. Just as the fish must not leave the deeps, so the ruler must not display his weapons, except by the permission of the chiefs. Sorry, that was just for a few people who might be watching. Wonderful. 37. Tao never makes any ado. And yet, that's that whole non-ado thing. We went over that before for the people who've seen the whole thing. And yet it does everything. If a ruler can cling to it, all things will grow of themselves. When they have grown and tend to make a stir, it is time to keep them in their place by the aid of the nameless primal simplicity, which alone can curb the desires of men. When the desires of men are curbed, there will be peace. And the world will settle down of its own accord. I like it. The only thing I might change, if I were writing it, is I would have changed would. I would have changed will to would. Leave a little room for skepticism, like this will ever happen. If mankind let go of desire as a whole, everybody just became Buddhist enlightened, oh no, I don't need things, just a seed or two is fine for me. Where are the problems in the world, because with that would, go a lot of other things. I mean, probably if they still had I don't like your face, or I don't like your whatever, where you're from, or if people are still racist, then it won't be that great. But if they let go of desire, would that eliminate racism? Probably. There's probably some kind of math there. Somewhere in the equation of racism is times desire, and if that was zero, then the whole thing would flatten out. Maybe. 38. High virtue is non-virtuous. That's with a capital H and a capital V. First one. Therefore, it has virtue. Wait, let me read that again. It's one of those. High virtue is non-virtuous. Therefore, it has virtue. Low virtue never frees itself from virtuousness. Ah, yeah, it's the old gold chain, lead chain. So there's two chains. There's the, I don't know, iron chain. You call it what you want. It's a lead chain. It's not good. Then there's the gold chain. Hey, you know what I could do with a gold chain? Fucking sell it. It's obvious. Make money, do whatever. But they're both chains, though, is the thing, So that's the difference between good karma and bad karma, or the other way around. The idea is to have no karma, So, I mean, in certain. Never mind. Okay. High humanity fusses, but has no private ends to serve. High morality not only fusses, but has private ends to serve. High ceremony fusses, but finds no response. Then it tries to enforce itself with rolled up sleeves. Failing Tao, man resorts to virtue. Failing virtue, man resorts to humanity. Failing humanity, man resorts to morality. Failing morality, man resorts to ceremony. Now, ceremony is the merest husk of faith and loyalty. It is the beginning of all confusion and disorder. As to foreknowledge, it is only the flower of Tao. Can you play the Gwydion reciting in the red phase the line from my dad's poem, The Voice of the Hero Angel, that this reminds me of?
From meaning. Behold, the world of men is full of ceremonies, and they are like the eggs of the tarantula in the ancient web, from which the young have long since hatched and left to scourge the earth.
They certainly have. It is the beginning of all... Yeah, we read that. As to foreknowledge, I would argue, though, if done right, it can be... It's like adding some ingredient to your pasta or whatever, Too much salt will ruin it, yeah. Too much ceremony, too much reliance on ceremony. Oh, fuck, it's not worth eating, right? But a little bit sprinkled in, just the right amounts with the other stuff there. Like, it can give things a boost, if you're into it. If you're not into it, you're not into it. But I think it can be applied so generally, like many things, like love, like magic. Many other words can be applied so generally that they cease to have any specific meaning or usefulness in communication. So it's sometimes it's a good idea to stick to narrower definitions for the sake of communication. But what's my point? As to foreknowledge, it is only the flower of Tao and the beginning of folly. I like it. So, foreknowledge is the flower of Tao and the beginning of folly. Shades of Paul Atreides a little bit, but on the one end, but on the other, it reminds me of the idea. Different people will have different spins or different, ways that they're going to reinterpret. But the way that I heard it explained was that, up here is enlightenment, and down here is mud, and lotuses grow out of the mud. And if they don't get distracted by the fish of gaining psychic powers, then they can go out, grow, and, so it's a side effect, in other words. It's not the goal, so people make it the goal. In that way of teaching. I gotta be a little bit like, okay, I teach their own butt, like the traditional way of looking at these things is try not to get hung up on things like foreknowledge. So yoga and Tao agree on that, is basically what I'm saying. What am I saying? Okay. Therefore, the full-grown man sets his heart upon the substance rather than the husk, upon the fruit rather than the flower. Truly, he prefers what is within to what is without. And that's what we're going to read today. pretty good. No complaints from me. This one's a bit of a shorter one, I guess. That hasn't happened in a long time. I ran out of things to say. For me, that's a real positive, and I think we're coming up on the transition from Leo into Virgo. I'm September 21st. I'm on the other side of Virgo, so I don't know. I ran out of words. It's good. It's good. Well, I'm sure they'll come back. If not, I'll just read. And a lot of people will be like, "Fucking yeah, that's what I'm here. I'm here for the reading, not all this other shit." Right? Maybe. Until next time.